Bridget. Welcome to Life Lessons Unfiltered. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the breakup. We're going to talk about the relationship coming to an end and what do you do with, at the end with the pain of a breakup. Am I saying that right? Is it the end? Or is
it's the breakup. How to deal with the pain of a breakup.
How do you deal with the pain? Or where do you place the pain? Because that's an emotion. That's a charged emotion. And you got to be careful what you do in that moment. Because some people can go local crazy or spiritual or I don't know where people go. I know where I went. We all experience that at some time or other in our lives, no matter what it is. So let's talk about what to do or what did you do with the pain from or the aftermath of a breakup or relationship coming to an end. And sometimes the relationship could be toxic and it should come to an end and your family's like, thank you.
Hallelujah.
The
devil is gone.
Right, but because you wasn't prepared for the end or didn't want it to come to an end, we would like to discuss like either what you did with that pain. Did you turn your pain into power at the end of the breakup, or what did you do? Let's talk about it. If I'm to think about that charged up pain after a breakup or a relationship coming to an end, it's the most, I believe, devastating thing in the freaking entire world. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
To me, it's like I have worded it or discovered the wording for it. It is death and the person still breathing. No, I'm mad. He is dead and there's no burial.
You're grieving.
You're grieving and you want him really dead in physical life, but he's not dead.
What? Are you wishing death on him?
No, but it is the same emotion as someone died.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they died, but here's what died. The relationship died. And in your mind, you're dying.
It's a grieving process.
Right. So, you have to look up like you got to Google like, what the hell am I going through? Is there any therapist in the world that can talk to me about this part? Nobody talks about this part or at least prepares you for this part of life, and it's a growing pain. It doesn't mean that all relationships come to an end. It means a wrong relationship come to an end. And we have to experience that because sometimes we get into a relationship that may not have been fulfilling or something that was for you, but we still kind of want it and not prepared for the end, and you have to come to the end at some point. So that part. So let's discuss what did you do with the pain of the relationship.
I think you made a good point.
Coming to an end.
You have to realize that the wrong relationship came to an end.
Say it again. Say it again.
The wrong
say it louder for the people in the back.
Came to an end because obviously you weren't meant to be with this person because
right.
you broke up.
Correct. Correct.
It is difficult, because at the time you're thinking, what happened, what I could have done differently. Mm-hmm. How could we have saved this? Why is he not fighting for this? That part. All kinds of questions.
Yeah.
But I think, in my experience, you have to accept what the person is saying. I'm not going to fight you because you think you want to end the relationship. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go and tear up your car. I'm not gonna do none of that craziness. I'm just gonna go in my bedroom and cry to myself and pray to God that He give me strength to get over this. What else can you do? And take that pain and bring it to power. Create something powerful in your life with all that energy.
But not everyone has the strength to understand that the pain could be turned into power because the pain is weakening in the moment. So you're living in the moment, and the fact of it's the wrong relationship is not really occurring to you at the time. All you know is something just died, and somebody's still breathing. It doesn't.
It sounds like you was to stop them from breathing.
No, because no, that's the equivalent of the pain that you're feeling. You're feeling that something. Yep. You guys are crazy.
No, I do understand that. You're grieving someone that is still alive. But you have to understand everyone has their it has been given the freedom of choice.
True.
And just because you want them to stay there,
right,
doesn't mean that is what they want to do.
But my point is, we actually put the debt on the wrong thing. It's not the person. It's the relationship. The relationship you wanted, the baby you wanted, the thing that you wanted, whatever it is that you wanted, has come to a close, and it's ending, and you're not ready for it. That part. So I think.
But is it the dreams, or is it the fact that I don't have anybody to hang out with Friday night, or all the things that you used to do? Is it those things that you're grieving, or is it actually the person? Because obviously they were the wrong ones for you.
I think it's the idea of the relationship.
I think it's the emotional attachment.
That's a good point.
That you have to grieve. That's the pain.
That's
because
broken.
You're right. Because you're no longer with
whether
that
it was
person,
bad or good.
Whether it was bad or good. But then as time goes by, you start thinking about the companionship. I don't have that friend. Well, when I say friend,
that
and your mate, that person.
The familiar.
Right.
Okay.
So we grieve, like you said, we should be grieving we should grieve the loss of the relationship,
correct,
not necessarily the individual, because the individual probably wasn't doing the right thing or whatever the breakup was, and it was painful and it was intense. So it's just like when that happens, of course we're gonna cry because we're missing that person, we're missing the relationship, but at the same time, don't try not to lose yourself in it, because that's easy to do. So you have to find a distraction, find something that's going to uplift you, be around positive people and start doing things, and then it's also the opportunity to get to know yourself better.
Absolutely.
And start to like yourself.
Right.
And I'm not saying you didn't like yourself, but just start to become more familiar with yourself and being comfortable in yourself. Learning yourself.
Because you can lose yourself
in a relationship.
You become what this person sees you as, rather than what your potential is for yourself. So that is an opportunity to find yourself. But what I would like to stress is just don't be out here acting a fool. Because the only person you acting a fool, you're gonna look like a fool. Because it's not gonna make them come back.
No, then also
it's not gonna make the person come back.
Your younger self might have been crazy. I know my younger self.
Yes. I had to put sugar in the gas tank back then.
Because I was about to tell you to describe what the fool look like.
But it's not gonna make him come back.
Right.
And he's gonna look at you like a fool, and so is his new girlfriend. Gonna look at you crazy too. Everybody in the family gonna look at you crazy because you running around here calling them 100 times. For what? For what? It's not gonna make him change his mind. The way to make somebody miss you is to not call them.
Yeah.
Just disappear and do good for yourself. That's the best way to make something, to get back at somebody, is to be successful.
Yeah, facts. But how about 5 years later, you ask yourself, what the was I thinking?
That's what you always do. That's always the
why?
Yes. Why was I acting a fool?
Why was I drinking myself to sleep over this stuff?
Yeah, but seriously.
But that's my filter. I just bleed myself out.
And that's the way it is when when a relationship breaks up, that it probably shouldn't have been a relationship to begin with.
Facts.
You know, you realize 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the situation is, I shouldn't have been with this nut anyway.
What? And you see him gonna be like, what was you embarrassing to tell anybody? Like you wanna scrub your Facebook page.
I missed that one.
I cannot believe I put my good with that one there. You understand me? Yeah. Because now your eyes are wide open and be like, what the who? I was probably under some kind of love drug. Okay? Then it happened to the best of it. But here's the worst part. When it happens when the person been in a relationship for 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 50, and the relationship ends and they think their world just completely ended. Knowing that no matter where you're going in life, no matter what you think you want for yourself, if that person is not for you, if that relationship is not for you, it ain't never, ever, where's my pen? Never going to work out. No matter where you're going in life, your destination is never going to be reached if that wasn't where you're supposed to be in the first place. But no one's thinking that when they're heartbroken.
Well, you know what? You have to. I think when you are in that situation, you have to talk. Who else are you going to turn to but God? I'm just saying, you don't have nobody else to talk to but God. And that old saying, their rejection is for your protection. You really have to think that in order to get through the next stage of this hurt.
Let's talk the truth. Let me talk the truth.
That is the truth for me. Okay. That's my truth.
You was talking the truth to yourself?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I can recall. You want to talk to your girlfriends.
I ain't got none.
And who are we sitting next to you? But no, you want to talk to somebody to get your frustration.
We are her friends.
We're not.
No, but I understand
you want to talk to somebody to get your frustration out.
Right, to get your frustration out.
Right, and
not necessarily an opinion though.
Right. Because you really want somebody to listen to your events and not necessarily for them to give you an advice or an opinion or say he was no good anyway. But I mean, he was good to me in that moment. So I don't want to. I want to hear, but I don't want to hear. Right. You know what I mean? But I would say the same thing that Tammy said, because in your worst times and sometimes it's just like going to church or talking to your spiritual advisor or your spiritual or my God. I'm just gonna say my God, which helps.
Mm-hmm. It does. I believe that God will send you some comfort because He's the only one that can bring peace to your heart in that time.
Right.
It's not going to be her. It's not going to be him because he's long gone. So who else is there to turn to?
Right. And I know we're talking this in the aspect of that we're women talking to the other party, but I'm sure there are men that go through the same feelings, which is even worse because there's a man called his homeboy like, yo, dude.
No, he ain't go. A man is not going to his homie like, yo, I don't know what to do. Do you think men actually will go crying to them?
I'm just giving
men go crying.
I'm just giving the men that actually. I do believe, but
I don't think a man is going to go to his homie and be like, "She left me, man, just high and dry."
No, I'm not saying crying or anything like that, but I think they have conversations.
But it's not the same when we comfort each other as women,
right? Because we can really say, "He really hurt my heart, and I am just devastated." A man would never say that to another man.
Like, she's not doing that.
We're going to get a man here and ask him.
We're going to have some men on the platform because relationships is across the board. We're women giving our perspective and our opinions, but we know it's an overall thing both sides. But I can tell you that when I've experienced that situation, I actually had 2 therapists. Now, don't discriminate because one my therapist, one as a white old man Jew, all right, and another therapist was a black young lady because I needed a two perspectives on either side because I did not understand what was happening. And for me, I had a therapist on Sunday at 6 p.m. every Sunday, and I had a therapist on Monday at 7 p.m. after work every Monday. And then I went to see my bishop because I needed a third perspective. I didn't consult any human being because I really wanted to understand what the hell is happening. What did I do? And I thought I was doing everything correctly. I'm supposed to be everything I said I was supposed to be, and this didn't work out. So what do you do with that pain? I turned it into a conversation with myself where I needed a whole readout on what happened. So I'm the person that would actually look at the burnt down building and look at the debris and understand where the fire got started because I was bent on never experiencing this again in my entire life. Now, I can't call it for my future self, but all I can say is I really turned my pain into a project. My pain was a project. And my project was to discover self and to discover relationship and to understand who I am so I could present myself better to going forward to the next relationship. That's what I did with the pain of that.
See, when I was going through pain,
okay,
it takes a moment for you to realize, like, damn, this is happening. You know what I mean? For me being the prideful Aries, I refuse to be running after any damn body.
right.
If that's what you want, that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
And I have to take this pain and make it powerful and work for me. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of me running behind you. I'm not doing it. Prayer.
What did you do?
Prayer.
Okay. You didn't drink like
No, because you know what? I tried the drinking, but the drinking made you. Oh my God! That's really sad. It's no, I didn't. I prayed, and then I thought, you know what? I am going to be the shit, and he gonna be sorry he left my ass.
So you were a revengeful type of thing.
Mentally, but it worked for me.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Because I had to, I had to make it work for me. I am not going to give up and let you win.
Right.
Because you're going to be sorry. Promise you. When I'm finished with me, you're going to be sorry you left.
That's what you meant when you said the success of you was your revenge.
Absolutely.
See, that's perfect. See, so my perspective was the discovery. Yours was bent on being a better you. And what about you, Robin? Like, how do you, if you ever experienced that part, like how did you handle? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. Because we all have relationships. That's part of our human nature. Like, how did you? Would love to hear from you. How did you turn that pain into either power or progress or success or? So what do you?
Mine became a distraction because I was spending so much time with that person, or just having that person around me all the time, or even having the kids involved. So it was more of a distraction type of thing, and finding other things to do, and then taking the chance on me, getting to know me better and doing things by myself,
That's a good point, though, Rob, because it depends on where you're at. If you have younger children, because I've been there too, if you have younger children, you take that energy and you dump it into your children to help you get over.
Oh, so you say you use distraction as a way to remove yourself from the pain.
Right. Because if you just, you can't sit and wallow in it. And even with certain situations now, I give myself, I say 24 to 48 hours. Because, the joy comes in the morning.
Absolutely.
And I need to stop doing it for 48 and make it 24.
That's wasting too much time.
Wasting too much time. Because it is what it is. That was your season, that was your circumstance, that was your occurrence for the moment. But that doesn't mean you let it linger. You don't carry it on. You gotta just let it go. And again, prayer does work. It doesn't necessarily work in our timing, you know, or how soon you want it to work.
True,
but it's
true,
gonna
true,
come
true.
around. But we
Facts.
just can't be so consumed in the pain that we don't realize the goodness of it, because you know, you did a self-evaluation, and you find goodness in yourself, you find some goodness in the relationship, because the whole relationship wasn't a bad thing for most of us, you know. So I started looking for the positive in the relationship and how I got goodness out of it. I'm not going to wallow in the bad stuff anymore.
And most of the time, you know, you can be in a relationship and a breakup, and you have a breakup. There was a lesson in that for you,
and you always have to look for the lesson.
And you have to, and that gives you comfort too, knowing that okay, this was the lesson. It's a revelation. This was the lesson. Okay, I got the lesson, and now I must move on.
Correct.
You know, and I think that helps too,
because it makes you better. Because it's like, how would you know what you didn't like or what went wrong if, you know, like, what is meant for you in the future? This is the part that you have to go through to know, because the relationship I have is like beautiful, and only because I went through what I went through. You know, because you really don't know what you do when you're younger. So I think our conversation here really would really help a lot of young people. I want to say women, but young people, because I think that they get in relationships quite early now. Teenagers, 20-year-olds, they're devastated. They want to jump off a building because they don't understand. Your world didn't come to an end. The relationship came to an end. And we could learn, like, it only showed you what you didn't like or what to do next time, so you move on, you know. So it's like, I believe that this is a very important topic, because we were in relationships for a length of time when no one was actually checking in on, like, oh, how do you do? It didn't come with a script, a manual, an instruction booklet, nothing. So you just kind of figure it out as you go. That's not,
I mean, you know, if there was no hurt, how would you know how strong you are?
Or find your strength.
What do you do without pain? Man, that is, I like that.
I mean, you have to go through some hurt in this lifetime.
Yo, pain is a motivator.
And it's not how you, it's how you deal with the hurt at that point.
Yes. I would say I was respectable to myself.
Absolutely. And that is key, Bridget. That is key. That is key. That's key.
Yes. I was respectable to myself, the kids, and everybody involved, because the last thing, you know, I guess if I was probably, I can't even say because I wasn't, you know, a breakup at 20 and I lost my mind, because I'm sure a lot of young people don't know how to handle that charged emotion. But I was able to actually bring it down to a place where you, like you said, 24 hours, 48 hours, we're just living for today. We're going to get through today, figure out tomorrow. So I guess it's a kind of a spiritual cleansing.
It is.
Remember,
like, we are kings and queens, and you have to portray yourself in that way all the time.
And that's the test.
Yes.
That's the test that we know we are queens, because we go through this, like...
Yes, it's a test. Do you deserve this crown or not?
Let me fix my crown.
And our season is over. Now it's time for a new season to do things differently. We learn from it.
Yeah,
learn from
and what do you deserve?
And it's not going out
and
being
what you
reckless.
deserve.
What you deserve.
Absolutely.
So
if you want to be a queen, you have to know what you deserve.
And you have to let some
things
go.
Queen, and you have to let
and display the characteristics of one also.
Oh man, we talk to these young girls today, girlfriends.
Just
you're
don't be being reckless.
Right. Don't be, don't dishonor yourself.
Right.
Don't dishonor yourself by chasing after someone that don't want you. Don't dishonor yourself by calling him, blowing up his phone or blowing up her phone 100 times, and she keeps sending you the voicemail. You got the message the first time. Don't do it to yourself, because you won't feel good in your heart. You won't.
And time helps.
Time heals everything, as they say.
Time helps you to see clearer.
And nobody's saying that, even doing all of these things, believing in yourself, turning that pain into stuff, is going to happen tomorrow. You know, it's going to take some time. It may take a year, it may take 2 years, but continuously work on yourself and see the value in yourself and stay strong, and you'll get where you need to be.
Right, because it is a grieving process. It's like you lost somebody, you lost a relationship. So there are different stages of it for each individual. It may not all be the same, but it's a difference in your process.
Right, that's beautiful. So it's really just knowing that. I think this topic was perfect for the younger woman.
For everyone, because we all go. I mean, you can be 50 and get in the relationship,
and now going through it, right?
And now going through it. I mean, hurt, pain, relationship, can happen at any age.
That's true.
But it is always a good way to handle it. And if you call yourself a king and a queen, you remember that in a time of grief as well. Behave that way.
So if I could say anything to this subject matter, what's not for you will never stay.
Absolutely, I agree.
And understanding when it's time to go, let them go, or let it go.
And God sometimes have to show you this ain't the one for you,
right? And He have something better for you, someone better for you.
Absolutely,
whatever it is, and just go with that as a comfort, because.
And sometimes that can be your strength to know that, okay, God is all-knowing. Whether, I don't know, your God, call him what you want, but God is all-knowing. And He knows that this person been out here been cheating for a whole 2 years. Now he got to make this foundation crumble because it wasn't stable to begin with.
I'm saving you from something.
I'm saving you from something. So you have to realize and trust in your God that this was the best choice for you.
Trust.
And that should give you some strength too.
Trust. Trust. And I would like to say, for those who probably don't think that there is a God, because I've encountered people who don't even think that, I would like to call it the divine, or the universe, or the power, or whatever that pulls you, whatever that thought that you have.
Who you pray to.
Whoever you pray to, or the Buddha, whatever it is, you know that there is a divine entity in this world that it's all-knowing, like the leaves that fall off and grow back. There is something that's going on that we understand, that we have to trust the process and just believe that better is for you. And if it wasn't good, then just let it go. And
I know that you have been putting that person, on a pedestal, but he ain't
on Facebook.
He ain't the universe. He ain't
on
God.
Facebook.
It's somebody bigger than him. Trust me, and probably somebody better than him.
And most of people stick on to relationships, and because they have this person that they put on a pedestal on social media that weren't for them, and now it's like, oh, did I do that too fast?
Yeah.
It's like, your relationship or your value, your life shouldn't be even lived there in the first place. That's a whole other topic.
Listen, and I just want to say one other thing. Do not sacrifice your happiness to make someone else happy. Because who life are you living? Who you living for? Them or yourself?
Be happy, and you'll encourage a happy environment. And who is to be there will be there. And that's it.
Turn your pain into power and empower somebody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a definite life lesson I could share all day, every day. So, guys, tune in.
Okay, so
share your experiences. I would love to hear what you did when you went through that pain. If you did, how did you turn your pain into power? Or what was your end game? Yeah.
Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of Life Lessons Unfiltered. Yay. And we will catch you later. Peace.
Bye.